Welcome everyone to Gamer Melt. Today, there's a 10900KS, the Ryzen 5750G gets benchmarked, Nvidia is having issues with their ARM acquisition, the 3060 price is getting insane, Intel bashes Apple, and there's finally some good news in the PC market. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, like the 9900KS before it, Intel looks to be planning a special edition release of the 10900K. The new processor was leaked via Intel's own eligible products list for their Crysis Remastered game bundle. As you can see, it lists a 10900KS model. Now, while it doesn't list specs, it's almost certainly a 10900K with higher clocks. Of course, the real question here is why? Intel's 11th Gen series is right around the corner, with their 12th Gen series launching not long after. I guess one good argument is that this is for those who aren't too happy with Rocket Lake only getting up to 8 cores. I don't know. At the end of the day, it will likely sell, but hopefully this doesn't mean Rocket Lake is being postponed or anything like that. Of course, with all this new hardware coming out, it can get tough to know what to buy. That's why I offer my PC hardware suggestions at kit.co/gamermelt. In it, I go over why you may want to buy one thing over another, from GPUs to CPUs and more, as well as provide tips when buying certain components. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to reply as soon as I can. Plus, when you make a purchase, it helps the channel out at no additional cost to you. So don't wait and visit kit.co/gamermeld or click the link in the description below. Next up for today, AMD's upcoming Ryzen-based APUs have been a poorly kept secret, with benchmarks appearing fairly often and even some being sold on eBay. Clearly the processors are coming soon. Well, this time we have a new benchmark of AMD's upcoming desktop APU, the Ryzen 7 5750G. Obviously, with it being the 5750, this is likely the Pro variant, and the original user confirms this in the post. As for performance, they were able to get it up to a stable 4.8 GHz with a voltage of 1.47. That garnered a fairly impressive score on CPU-Z, with the processor getting a 660 single-core score and 6,898 multi-core score. All in all, that's really impressive for an APU. Let's just hope AMD's upcoming desktop APU will actually be available to the DIY market this time. Next, it looks like Nvidia's recent $40 billion acquisition of ARM could have a major hurdle to overcome. In a recent report from Bloomberg, some companies are taking issue. Specifically, we're talking Google, Microsoft, and Qualcomm, among others, are requesting antitrust officials to step in. Unfortunately, these do seem to be based on unnamed sources, but it's certainly something that seems plausible. They're also reporting that the Federal Trade Commission is reviewing the merger. All in all, if these reports are correct, Nvidia likely has a long way to go before the acquisition becomes an absolute. Of course, they're still promising to continue ARM's open licensing model, but that doesn't exactly mean much. Time, as always, will tell. Next up, GPU prices are getting pretty absurd. In fact, they're getting much worse. To start things off, Nvidia officially announced the release date of their RTX 3060 GPU to the press a few days back, with AnandTech revealing the date to be the 25th. Of course, if you followed the channel, you already knew that. Anyway, with that release, we're now getting more and more retailers listing the GPUs online, and unfortunately, many are selling them for some absurd prices. In fact, I recently did a story with prices going as high as 600 euros. Well, that same store has already raised the price even further since then. Yeah, they raised the prices before release. Oh, and the MSRP in Europe is 329 euros. Of course, third-party sellers do raise that a bit for higher-end custom variants, but not this much. Not only that, but ProShop is selling theirs starting at 499 euros or 2,799 PLN. At the end of the day, this is simply more proof that demand is far outstretching supply, even though it's been months since the RTX 3000 series was launched. Next up for today, it looks like Intel is going all in on PC. Of course, it probably has nothing to do with Apple making their own CPU and kicking Intel to the curb. No, it couldn't be that. Anyway, in a new ad campaign by Intel on social media, the company is bashing Apple pretty hard. For example, one of them says, quote, If you can power a rocket launch and launch Rocket League, you're not on a Mac. That last part is referring to Rocket League's decision last year to not support Macs anymore. Of course, some users are sharing some rebuttals. At the end of the day, it's obviously preference, and for fun, comment your version whether it's for Mac or PC down in the comments below. And lastly for today, with CPU and GPU prices steadily on the rise thanks to supply issues coupled with high demand, things have been pretty terrible for PC gamers lately. Well, today I actually have some good news. While Ryzen 5000 is pretty much out of stock everywhere right now, at least at MSRP, Intel's 10th gen CPUs have been available for quite some time. Of course, their 10th gen parts aren't as new as AMD's offerings, but Intel had some major supply issues over the past few years. Most attributed it to their 14nm node being overburdened thanks to all the delays with their 10nm process. That forced Intel to drastically increase their 14nm capacity. Well, it's apparently paid off, as Intel seems to feel they have enough, coupled with the fact that their 11th gen CPUs are coming soon, and AMD is now a competitor. It's led Intel to actually cut prices of their 10th gen offerings. For example, the 10900KF is currently $50 off, and the 10600K is $40 off with $10 more if you use the promo code with Newegg. Really, most of Intel's 10th gen series is currently on sale. Of course, some of these look to be ending soon, and they do seem like they may actually be going out of stock. So if you're interested, I'll have affiliate links down in the description. They don't cost you anything more, and it helps the channel out. So while that does it for today, are you happy to finally see at least something kind of good in the PC market, or do you just need a GPU? Let me know down in the comments below, and make sure to check out the Discord GamerMeld server at discord.gg/gamermeld. And as always, have a great day!